And we are back with the second best of three of today. It is Laboon against Owelf playing green purple against black purple Luffy. So we're gonna see some giants today. How are you feeling, Freddy? Now that you've joined.
Yeah, feeling good. I mean, these are two top tier decks. It should be interesting to see who comes out on top. Be the battle of the Gum Gum Giants.
Yeah, for sure. Who sees more
Because it'll be
giants?
interesting to see Green Purple Luffy goes to a 6k, but Black Purple Luffy, once he gets that beer Luffy down, goes up to a 7k. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top here.
Told both players to start. I think they're just getting ready, mulliganing, looking at their hand.
Oh, I think in this situation, Black Purple Luffy always wants to go first, and Green Purple Luffy wants to go second to get that Sanji Pudding into Zoro combo down, right?
Yeah, maybe in this matchup you want to go first to deny the 6-don play and then play Luffy Taro on 7-don. And just playing and not using the leader ability as the green purple on turn 3. That would also
Oh,
make
that
sense
makes
to me.
sense.
Yeah, because if black purple goes first and ramps into 6-don, then that's
That's a
an
very
early
dangerous
6 drop.
position getting
Yeah.
down that Beer Luffy on 6.
Yeah, and that's the green purple. You could, if you go first, play just Zoro or Sanji Pudding without leader ability on 5-don, and then play Luffy Taro the turn after. Because you need Luffy Taro in this matchup, I think, trying to beat over the 7k leader.
Oh, that's a smart choice. Yeah, he's running 3 of them. Oh, and that's a good trigger from Laboon there, getting a search off the life. Both players looking like they've got pretty good curve already. Black Purple Luffy's found his 3-don ramp with Zoro, let him ramp an active. He's already on 4-don, swing 7. That's really good. And Jared already got the merry-go down. I don't think Black Purple Luffy runs any cost-based reduction, but it's always nice to have.
Yeah, it's good to see both the players kinda have what they need. Because if someone just breaks and the other one has everything, it's not that interesting to watch. So happy to see both players seem fairly happy with their hand. Have some searches. We saw him pick up Sanji Pudding. So he definitely has a play next turn.
Will we see the beer Luffy come down for Black Purple Luffy? This will be a great time to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he would have slammed it down by now.
Hey, right now he doesn't get the 7k boost because Laboon is only at 3-don.
Oh, you're right.
At
You're
4
absolutely
at
right.
4-don, I meant. Yeah, you need to have more than 4-don for that. Okay, he plays Zoro
So
and
he just
Rams
keeps
again.
ramping.
Yeah.
I guess for his other Don, he's just going to poke. Or is this going to be a another blocker as well?
He swings a
No, he's
7
just
with
going
a
to poke.
leader. So maybe just go 7-8 or 7-7 and search.
Yeah, that really puts the pressure on Laboon here.
I'm not sure if I like that because Green Purple Luffy is pretty happy taking some life and playing defensive on like one or even 0 life at times. Especially with this Robin already established. And if you just played the 6-drop Luffy last turn, he picked up the rush one. You don't need to rush with it. Just put it there as like a threat for later on. I think that would be great too.
Absolutely, yeah, because he has so many cards in hand now.
Hmm.
It'll be so easy to defend with it.
Yeah, and the second Zoro is not as relevant because your opponent's gonna be a 6k leader soon. So you would have to invest Don for it to swing.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he wants to get to 9 Don and play 9 cost Luffy if he runs that card. Yeah, he does run that card. So maybe he wanted to get to 9 Don instead and get a threatening body first.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest body out of both of their lists. So he'll be able to swing over all the Sanji puddings, the rush Luffys that Laboon plays. Could be a smart plan. But already green purple Luffy shenanigans are happening. Uses leader ability, goes up to a 6K and gets the extra active Don from Sanji Pudding. God, it's so good.
Yeah, Sanji Pudding is a great card. This deck, very strong. I wonder if
It's
Laboon
interesting. He's
will.
going after
Oh,
the
okay.
Zoros.
I was about to say. I wonder if Laboon is going to try to stay below 4 Don, but no, he just rammed back. Next turn, maybe he could go down below if he has the Rush Luffy or something. But no, he rams back with Frankie. I think going for the Zoro is fine. You don't want your opponent to poke, and swinging into life now, not that great, because this will be a battle about board. So if there's a 6 cost Luffy coming down, you don't want your opponent having like a lot of cards in hand to
Yeah,
defend
that
it.
absolutely makes sense. They're just trying to out-resource each other at the moment.
Yep. Because Black Purple Luffy kind of plays like Whitebeard. Take a lot of life and sit on events and you're a big leader. Thanks, Sanji.
What's he going to rest? The blocker? Yeah,
Let's rest the
it's a good
Robin.
shout.
Not sure if maybe the Frankie wasn't better.
I mean, it looks like Laboon's on 7 Don now, so maybe the ramp from Frankie isn't super relevant here. Whereas the blocker could be relevant in the future. Oh, he's going face, just pressuring more. Very nice.
That is unexpected, yeah. Okay, maybe he has like Luna trigger. Does he play Luna?
Luna rest the Sanji is
Yeah,
such a good trigger.
that is great.
Let's really pump the brakes on Owelf's aggro here. If he goes 7 again, just gets a 2K and a 1K out of. Actually, he's a 6K leader, so it's just a 2K out of hand.
Okay, swing 6 instead of 7. Makes sense. Maybe at this point I would swing into the Robin. Getting rid of the Robin is better than getting one more 1k or 2k here.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he wants to play another Sanji next turn and rests the Robin again.
Absolutely. There's also that that new chopper blocker from the starter deck, right? Lets you rest an active Don. So maybe he wants to rest the blocker, rest the Don with the chopper, and go from there.
Yeah, that
Oh,
chopper is
another
really
Sanji
strong.
pudding.
Another Sanji pudding. So at this point, the lead ability is free. You're gonna get back 2 Don from both Sanji puddings.
Yeah, just casually restand 4 Don. Be a 6K leader, why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not? With Giant in your deck and like 50 cards in hand.
Yeah, it's pretty average deck.
Yeah, at this point, he's pretty happy that last turn he didn't have to swing into life. Because you can just start swinging at the Sanji if you want. Okay. He just gamma knives the Sanji. That also works. Probably swings the
Yeah, pretty
Frankie
much
into it.
marked it for death.
That's 4 into 2. But probably gone, yeah. No point defending that.
Can be 7 into the Zoro. I don't think it's worth protecting this.
You could swing
I
into
think it's
life,
going to
then the
be
Zoro.
another 7.
Yeah, the Zoro probably just swings into your Frankie, so it's not that big of a threat. And then if you swing like life twice, you force your opponent to play Beer Luffy. And like by the way he played so far, I don't think he has Beer Luffy in the end yet. Okay, pitching 0 cost for his giant.
It's hard to tell which counter was actually played, but he draws the 2, so I guess it
Yeah.
was the giant.
He goes another 7. I'm curious where those are, because if it's at life, then I don't think he would giant the first swing. Interesting. I feel like this way he kind of starves himself. He just takes the first life, or even takes the second one. He has a lot
Hmm.
of resources, but also requires beer Luffy, because if you had one life as a 5k leader, then yeah, then you're pretty vulnerable to the bot that Laboon has right now.
Absolutely. This is very scary board. Two 7Ks and 8K. A blocker to boot. I don't see many outs here for Owelf.
Yeah, it's looking tough. And Laboon has the Robin up, has a bunch of cards to active on. He's far away
Two
from
active
losing.
Don. Does he run any other counter outside of Gum Gum Giant? It doesn't look like it.
He's not. Okay. We do have the beer Luffy, so I don't know if you already had that before, but if so, I would have probably just let the Zoro die and take one more life. Because now next turn, if you swing your beer Luffy, you're gonna have to defend that.
Absolutely. Now he's got a lot less cards in hand, having
Mm.
defended the Zoro.
You can take some life this turn, but I think I would have loved to take the life last turn because you are still a 5k leader and then defend it when you're the 7k leader. Okay. Blocks the Robin, uses the effect. The fact that Robin searches Giant as well is so strong.
So good. It just
Yeah.
adds so much consistency to an already crazy consistent deck.
Not sure what he wants to pick up, so maybe there's something better than Giant, multiple Giants, or no Giant. Okay, he picks up Nami, so probably not too happy with the cards that he's seen in there. Just taking
He's
it
just
as a
going to go
counter.
again with another search, probably.
Yeah, or just counter. But yeah, that
True,
Nami can
true.
also find Giant, so it's also great.
Yeah, I think that's just what he needs at this point.
Okay. There's the
Just
Nami.
more defense. I
Yeah,
think
his
from
board
here you
is
can just pressure Owelf a bit more, right?
yeah, his board is already very threatening. If you find maybe another Robin or another Giant, you're probably safe. You could probably also play the 6-cost Sanji this turn for 3 Don if he wants to. He's 1 Don behind right now, but if he only activates one of the Sanji puddings, then he's 2 Don behind.
Oh, very smart. So he loses the one active Don from the Sanji pudding, but he gets that -3 discount. So save 2 Don overall. That's pretty efficient.
Yep. Okay, starts the Zorjiro, another searcher.
When will it end?
Okay, after 10 attempts, we found the best card in our deck. Okay, let's see.
When he goes for the leader ability again, will he restand both Don? Yeah, it
And
looks like he
yep,
does get
he did.
both back.
Yep, he did get both back.
Do we know that Laboon has a blocker Sanji in his hand?
No, we do not. Don't think we've seen him pick one up, but I would say it's not unlikely that he has one in hand.
Absolutely, it'd be great to play over the Frankie right now.
Hmm.
Because I don't think the Frankie's doing much here, especially into a 7k leader. And I think he's going to be sticking at 7k for quite a while.
I mean, if he has a bunch of counter in hand, he could just use his stun to pressure now, and then if Owelf overextends, tries to go for game. Owelf doesn't put any bodies on the board, so in that case, he would just win. Ooh. I think it's
Absolutely.
that's the second trigger we've seen of that event. I think so. Both of them now had it. Sachi. But maybe he has another Robin to play over the Frankie. he swings the Frankie first, yeah, can get one down back. So basically making Robin's ability free. I think he just realized that he can't use Sanji. Maybe. Or was just checking if he's at equal down. Yep.
Okay, swings just to get the ramp.
Yeah. Maybe 7-7, then plays Robin.
I mean, Owelf's looking pretty low in hand here. Only 5 cards in hand, it looks like. So just chipping away at his hand size. He really doesn't want to take this much life, I don't think, against this board.
Yeah, the Luffy Taro is gonna make work. Gonna work. Just one down, swings 9. Forcing a giant in most situations, or the life. I think he's at 4 in hand now. Then probably he's gonna take this, yeah. Could giant it as well. But I think he just takes it.
Yeah, I don't think you get punished by taking here. You can save the Gum Gum Giant to defend the Beer Luffy.
Oh,
Oh, but he counters out with the 0 cost into a 2k.
that is expensive, yeah. So that is
A
very
lot of
telling.
counter loss there.
Yeah, that is very telling about his hand.
So does that just say that he's got a lot of counter cards in his hand? Maybe it's just all 2Ks? That would be
Yeah,
pretty rough.
I would say he probably has just all 2Ks and counter in his hand, but no playable character.
Oof. If that was the case, yeah, I would definitely take in that spot.
Okay.
Ooh, plays the Rush Luffy, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot in this situation. Laboon's got 3 Don up, and you know he has a Gum Gum Giant in hand. And the great thing about Gum Gum Giant, as we know, you can find more Gum Gum Giants off the ability.
Yeah. If we giant 3 times now, we could take away the rush from the Luffy.
That would be incredible play here.
Just going -6 done. That would be enough to get rid of the rush Luffy. Okay, so it's 8-8. Then maybe goes 9-9. But it would surprise me if that connects.
Absolutely. Although I'm thinking, from a Wolf, maybe the better play is
Oh yeah, he
instead of
needs to.
8, 8, 8, 8, could you just slam all in face? Just put it all on the Beer Luffy. See if you can go 17 at face, see if that connects.
Hmm. Not sure if
Maybe
that
he
makes.
doesn't have 3 Gum Gum Giants. You know he has 1, but Green Purple Luffy is a very bricky deck. You never know.
I mean, yeah, he just gave him a bunch of 2Ks.
Yeah.
So sometimes they have all 2Ks, sometimes they are completely bricked up.
Oh, I don't think Owelf's getting out of this spot. This might be a GG here. Yeah, just swinging 9s.
I mean, doesn't have done up, so yeah, looks very much over.
I think that's 3 cards in hand. Oh, he
Hmm.
counters out 1 card in hand.
And another 9.
No.
Yeah, did have a bunch of counter, but not enough.
Yeah, it's exactly as he said when he countered out with that Jet Gatling. He just had a lot of counter in hand, and maybe that Rush Luffy, and that was his only play. Which it's always a shame to see. But I think both players played really well. Yeah, but on to game 2. I'm guessing that Owelf will choose to go second now. First, sorry. He wants that first with a ramp.
Yeah, probably going first. Would assume so. Just cleanly ramping into 6 after using the Zoro or Robin or Maria. There's a lot of options. The new Robin is really good for this deck. It's a 2k Zoro basically. Some more searchable ramp options for this deck.
Oh yeah, it's perfect for the deck. And it's got decent stat line as well, 4k power. Just have to chuck a Don on. Easy chip. Easy chip at life.
Yeah, you could use the Don that you get from playing the 6-drop Luffy. You use to swing with the Robin the turn after.
Exactly, yeah. Really good. I think Black Purple Luffy got so many good cards for the list. Robin, the Beer Luffy, even that Chopper.
Yeah, it's for sure the best starter deck that we've seen.
Oh, the buggy players are going to argue with you there.
I mean, that Buggy said the starter deck is also very strong, but I think Black Purple Luffy is just a stronger leader.
Absolutely. I don't know if have we seen many buggies in the tournament so far with the new starter decks?
I don't think so. I don't think many people brought Buggy. I think the most played decks might be green purple, black purple, and law, maybe.
Yeah, that is really good to see the law resurging.
Yeah, I played
I mean,
law
obviously
yesterday.
you yourself championed it yesterday with a great win against Avohe. That was very good to see.
Against Whitebeard.
I
Not
bet you didn't
sure.
expect that one.
Yeah, yeah, and I wasn't expecting Whitebeard. I mean, it did top in an A twice, but that's like just this one player, and it's an A. So
What do you mean? And that's NA. What does that mean?
just nothing. It's an A. Just a fact.
Anyway, back to the game. Back to the game.
It has happened in an A.
So, what do you think a wolf needs to do here to get the victory? What do you think held him back last game?
And yeah, the week 6 down turn, where he just played another Zoro, swung like 7-7 or 7-8. That was pretty weak because like Laboon was fine taking those lives, so we didn't really add any extra pressure. And then we also kind of starved ourselves. Like looking at his hand, like that we've seen at the end, I think the giant on the Zoro was technically a mistake, but I think he just gianted to get more cards, like find new playable cards. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. So, you think he needs to be a bit more comfortable going down to that lower life, getting more resources in hand early on?
Yeah, not resting characters. I wish he played the 6-drop Luffy that he searched, the Rush Luffy on 6 down and just passed and took some life. Because Laboon cannot deal with the Luffy. It just stands there until it swings. And then he gets some more resources from life. That could have probably changed the outcome a little bit. But the Laboon also had just a very great hand. Luffy Taro, Sanji Pudding, Sanji Pudding. So yeah.
Yeah, he found everything.
Yep.
But we'll see if he's that lucky this game. And I think it will be Owelf to start. Yes, it is. Oh no, he was just fiddling around with the Don.
Yeah. They just asked if they can start.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
All
They
right,
can
yeah,
start now.
let's kick it off. No search from a wolf, just passes to Laboon, and he gets the going merry, gets a draw. And the search as well. Very
Oh,
good.
starting off very strong. Mulliganing has worked out.
Will he find a Sanji pudding? No, is that the rush leafy? It looks like
Yes.
it.
Yes, that is. Rush Luffy.
Ah, yes, here's the standard black purple Luffy opener. Finds the Zoro, ramps, one rested, and swing 7. And like you said earlier, both players very happy to go low on life. Just get more resources in hand.
Oh, that's a really strong
This is a
start.
very good start from Laboon here.
Yeah.
If he finds the Sanji pudding now, it is perfect.
Mm. Finds another Zoro, so maybe only already has a few Sanji puddings in hand. That would be very strong.
Potentially. I think it's crazy that Zorojuro can find Zorojuro. It's one of the few searches that can search for itself. With a vanilla stat line as well. What a card.
Yeah, as a Rage player, I cannot complain about that card. They said I've got a 2K that searches itself. That I can play for two done. Two cost 5K that searches top 5. We'll take those.
Oh, looks like he plays down the blocker kid here. I haven't seen that crop up in Black Purple Luffy list for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty strong, especially like next turn if he plays the 6-drop Luffy, like anything that reduces by 2, he gets back 2, then gets arrested on. So essentially using his leader ability to ramp down.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And I think in these early turns, he might be a bit more proactive with it, maybe even swinging with it.
Mm.
I don't know if he'll need the blocker element this early.
You don't need your blocker for the same reason that last game. You just don't want to have to defend it. You just want to take life, especially if you're a 7K leader. Having arrested 6K body, it's a bit of a wasted effect on your leader then.
Absolutely. And there's the Sanji pudding.
Yeah, but we didn't open it, so you can
He
still
has
play it.
just enough Don to play it now.
Yeah, you can also draw with it because black purple rammed, which is very strong. We can
Very nice.
Yeah, we cannot play the Zorojuo that we picked up. That's the only problem because now we only have 3 Don active.
Very true. I wonder if he'll have another Robin. That could be very good in this situation.
Yeah, Robin would be strong. Frankie if he wants the ramp.
Or potentially he could just split with Zorojuro as leader. So I don't think that'll be as strong a play. Do you think he'll be going for life or the Zoro?
Probably the Zoro just to deny him some cards. That's what I would
Absolutely. And it
do.
looks like he is splitting with his leader in Zorojuro. Just to make sure the Zoro dies.
He
And it
might
does.
might not swing. Oh, he does swing. Okay.
I think in this spot you do want to take. Oh, but he does counter out.
Maybe he doesn't have the 6-drop Luffy yet. But yeah, if he does, then I would definitely take that one.
2 life is a very comfortable position here. Especially with a blocker out.
Yeah, I mean, because countering here represents 2 cards out of hand, basically. Because not only didn't you get 1 card, you lost 1 card. He would have 2 cards more in hand if he took that life. But maybe he's saying he's already pretty comfortable.
Yeah, maybe.
If he doesn't swing the kit, then he doesn't have rested characters next turn, so he could still take the life afterwards. But I think I would still take the first one and try to defend myself once I'm 7K. But maybe it just doesn't have to be a Luffy. He has to respect that Laboon could get very aggressive next turn if he goes to 2 life. Okay, not happy. It feels like.
No, compared to a Beer Luffy, that is
He gets a bunch of Don back, but no be a Luffy. Hey, he did
yeah, so
just
what was
ramp
that? So
a
he,
bunch of
he
Don.
Don -2, got 1 back from the Zoro, got 2 back from his leader, and then 1 from the kid. He just ramped 2. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Which means he still has a lot of Don to make plays with.
Absolutely. Maybe he does play the Rush Luffy. Just to poke at the Zorajiro a bit.
Yeah. Could also play Sanji, Sanji to get some extra swings in.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the Sanji cannot rest the Sanji and Pudding. It looks like it was got the
Yeah.
+2 cost from the Going Merry, which is very unfortunate. 7 cost is very hard to get over.
Oh, that's not great. Things 9, I assume, at the Zoro.
Or maybe he's doing what he did last game and try to pressure life.
Yeah, you could do that. Okay. We will not find out.
Is this going to be another 9 with the kid? Leave a Don open for Gum Gum Giant? It looks like it might be.
But this one has to go at Zoro. After we countered two cards, I wouldn't want to give my opponent a life. This time I would swing at Zoro for sure.
Yep, there he goes. Well, the board's looking a little easier to manage for Owelf, but it's still a shame that he's not a 7k leader. That would have really helped him in this spot.
Unless he has Luffy Taro again. If he plays Luffy Taro into Sanji Pudding again, then not looking so manageable anymore.
Absolutely, that would be a very rough spot for Owelf. And there it is. You just had to jinx it, Renee.
Yeah. Maybe it's not Sanji Pudding. Ah, it is Sanji.
Oh, look, it's Sanji Pudding.
What a surprise.
Three
Okay.
stanzas, 4 dons, 6k leader. Oh, this is just going great for Jared here.
Just swings a 6 at the kid, I would assume.
Yep, at this point, Owelf's not doesn't have a lot of resources. He didn't take his life early on, and now you can just chip away at his characters.
Yep. Yeah.
Now he's just hemorrhaging 2Ks. This is not great to see here. Oh, life. Interesting. Would you have gone at the kid for that second attack?
After you pitched a 2k, maybe you could have went live, but I would just try to starve my opponent in this case. It looked like he didn't really have many great plays, so I just wouldn't want him to get more cards because right now, like, he has a kid on board, he has Tendon, he has like a decent amount of cards. If he finds Beer Luffy, which he does, it's not looking too bad, even though there's Luffy Taro and Sanji Pudding on the board. So I would have wanted to starve the Black Purple Luffy player in that situation. Because again, that's a 2 card difference swinging into life and swinging into the kid. Because if you guard the kid, that's 1 card out of hand, and swinging into life, that's giving your opponent a card. So
Absolutely.
we would
Although one
want.
thing to do note, he did play the blocker Sanji there. I don't know if he paid 6 or 3 for that. I think he should have only paid 3, right? But I think he paid 6.
No, he paid 3. He played it after playing Luffy and Luffy Taro into Sanji, so he had 4 Dawn active and played it for 3. That's why he has one Dawn active.
Yep, there's the maths.
That's why he has 1 Dawn active. Otherwise, he couldn't have played it. But that's a very strong turn. Playing Luffy Taro into Sanji Pudding into a Sanji blocker. That's a 6k body, an 8k and a 7k body, and a 6k leader. Really
So
strong.
strong. Well, it looks like he's going after the Sanji Pudding now. It's got Gamma Knifed. Will it be able to live? He's only got 3 attacks. But it's a 2k power. I don't think it's surviving.
I mean, it's 6 on 2, so giant 1k, and then you could block the other swing. But that's expensive, yeah, in terms of Dawn.
Oh, he does block.
Block 1k. Hmm. I guess it makes sense. Now, if you swing the 7 or 8k leader into the Sanji Pudding, you got it basically countered the leader swing with a 1k.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. He's just
Hmm.
saving cards in hand now.
I know it's Another 6 into Spongy Pudding, I would assume.
It looks like he was thinking about countering out there, like you said, with the Gum Gum Giant. And this is 7, 8, 9 into 6. I think that's a
Depending
Gum Gum
on...
Giant coming out here.
I think I would want to delay my Giant a turn as Green Purple Luffy here. So if his hand is looking like decent, I think I would definitely just take this. He has a blocker. He has Sanji Pudding on board. But he does counter. But that requires you to have a lot of counter or maybe another blocker. Yeah, probably fine gianting this. But that means you're on 6 don now.
That's looking pretty low. And Owelf here has a Don up as well. Even with only 4 cards in hand, that Giant can still be pretty scary. Where do we think this is going, this attack?
Has to be a kid. I think just clean 8 onto 6. Be very surprised if it's into life. Maybe it's into Zoro, but I think it's just into kid. Especially after seeing your opponent giving you a 2k earlier for your swing. 6 on... Oh no, it was 6 on 5 then probably last time. Yeah, just cleans up the board.
Absolutely makes sense. And now Laboon just needs to build his board back up again. Just keep the pressure up.
Maybe he finds
Maybe find another
Sanji
Sanji
Pudding.
Pudding here?
Nope. But a 2k is not bad.
Not at all. And Usohachi is a really good game ender. And even with the +1 cost from Black Purple Luffy's ability, you could still rest the Frankie, the Chopper blocker. Doesn't rest the Kid blocker. But yeah, still great for going for the end of the game. And like you said, still a 2k. Never sad to see a 2k in hand.
More searching.
Frankie, I don't think is super impactful at this point in the game, but 1k counter.
Yeah, just counter. And
Oh, but he plays it out.
yeah, you can restand it, so. And he gets arrested on from the Frankie. Gets 1 down back from Sanji Pudding. Not too bad. Basically making this leader ability free as well. Back on 6 down. Just for the cost of a 1k.
Makes sense. Well, I don't think he's got a huge amount of cards in hand here. Oh, and he plays another Sanji blocker for 3 Don. That's a big body.
I think he's fine not swinging here. Yeah, just doesn't swing.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep the Don up for another Gum Gum Giant. Try to defend this Sanji Pudding and this Luffy Tower, I think is going to be hugely important to close out the game. But I think Owelf's in a pretty comfortable position here. Managed to ride out the worst of it, and if he can build up maybe a 7 cost Sanji, that 9 cost Luffy, the Rush Luffy, the 6 cost. If he could put out something threatening here.
Yeah, it does not look too bad right now. Especially if he has an answer for the Sanji Pudding. Maybe another Gamma Knife. Okay, place a Frankie. That's okay, that's decent. Some card draw. Pitches a 2k. Okay. Maybe he has a bunch of counter again, but no characters to play. We have seen that before.
Absolutely, he's just digging for some threats here, something to capitalize on this little break that he has. He can be a 7k leader now with the Beer Luffy. Be a bit more defensive here. He's separating out his Don here. Looks like he's going for a 4 and a 3 here. Could be another Frankie and a he could play a blocker Sanji of his own for 3 Don now. Oh no, because Jared is only at 6 Don, so he doesn't get the discount.
Yep.
Oh, but he does go at life, putting more pressure on.
He just plays another Frankie without effect this time. This time would be very expensive.
Yep, Black Purple Luffy wants to stay on that 10 Don they worked so hard to ramp for.
Yes.
Especially if he has a Gum Gum Giant, he's going to take him down another 2 Don. I think that was a very good play not to use that ability.
Yeah. He only has 4 cards in hand, so it's gonna be a bit more difficult defending the Luffy without losing all our cards or the Frankies. Oh, okay. My bad.
He goes at life
He
here.
just went at life.
What do you think about that?
I think I would still just try to win the resource game and try to swing at the Luffy.
I agree. I think both targets are 7k, so you may as well swing at the target that's making the leader a 7k
Yeah.
and try to get some resources out of hand in the meantime. Maybe even get rid of those Frankies. But I think in this situation, Owelf's pretty happy to go down to 1, maybe even 0 life and defend the rest.
Maybe please. Yeah, we've seen that rush Luffy picked up earlier from his search. I think it was the first search of the game. Okay. Yeah, we are slowly losing a bit of Don. We have 6 Don total. Because we gianted early on like 7 or 8 Don. Well, on 6, we gianted on 6 Don and went back to 6 again, yeah. So we're kind of stuck on the 6 Don right now because we lost the second Sanji pudding.
Absolutely. It's very hard for Green Purple Luffy to stay consistent with its Don with only one Sanji pudding. Especially if they want to be using their leader ability every turn.
So weird sequencing. He went 9 first, obviously. I mean, he went at life, so obviously Owelf took it. Now he swings a few 7s. I would have done it the other way around. Swing 7, 7, 7 at the Luffy, probably.
I agree. Try to get some cards out of hand, make it really awkward to Gum Gum Giant. There's nothing better to see than when you just poke at them, they only need
Yep.
1k counter and they Gum Gum Giant. Plus 4k out of a 1k counter. It's always great to see. Could have maybe put him in that spot, but instead just went for the life, put him down to 0 life. That's still a lot of pressure on a Wolf. Do you think he can go for game here?
Oh, going for game is gonna be difficult. We still have 2 Don up. We have 2 Sanjis up. And a 6k leader. As I don't think there's a way to go for game. I think he would have to try to survive here. Which he can, but probably just the last turn he has to survive. The next turn you would need to go for game. Oh, I think he missed.
Oh.
No hard pirate, no
Oh.
straw hat in
That's
there.
unfortunate. But you know what? He built board. That's a 2k body there.
It's crazy that he missed because he doesn't even play 8 cost cutter, so there's more straw hats in his deck than usual.
That must have been a couple of Black Marias and some kids. Or maybe it was just a lot of events, because of course
Yeah.
a law can't pick up anything
Yeah,
less than 2 cost.
Marias, Giants, search events, something of that kind.
Very unfortunate, very unlikely. There might have been like a 5% chance, something
Yeah.
like that.
Nami searches top 5 and picks up Giant. This just checks top 4 and can't even search Giant. Poor purple
So
player.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh, but he does get a pretty big body here. This Rush 9k Luffy, 9 cost Luffy, sorry.
Okay. 2
Gonna force
Giants.
out a lot of counter. And yep, that's a instant giant there.
But it's very telling because, like, he gianted a 7k.
Oh, you're right. I thought that was the 9 cost Luffy swinging. No, that was just the
No.
beer Luffy swinging.
Yeah, he just gianted a 7k swing. So this one
I
is
think this
probably
might be a
gonna block.
block here.
Yeah.
Yep. He lives another day,
Mm.
but he did have to give up an Usahachi for that counter just then.
Yeah, the
That
problem
could have
is
been
like
really useful getting rid of these Frankies.
he cannot use the Usachi because he gianted. He's on 7 done, I think.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh,
Yeah,
that is
that's a bit
such a
unfortunate.
nasty condition. Have to be on at least 8 Don to use that ability.
Yeah, I think this game, like Laboon, he saw the like pretty good curve, but I feel like he could have maybe played a bit better with his Don and the way he swung. Starve him a bit more and use less Don. You know, because now he's like kind of in a rough spot. 7k leader, 2 blocker, has 1 Don. Like it's still 4 cards in hand, and he only has 7 Don to finish the game. And like 2 big Luffy swings, the restand Luffy don't really do much because there's 2 Frankies. And you have no way of getting rid of those Frankies. So
Yeah, absolutely.
looks pretty good for
He
Owelf
does
right
have
now.
one option I saw in his list, the demon/demon aura. I can never pronounce their name. It's so
Yeah.
long, but that 2-cost event.
That
But it
would
doesn't look like he
require
has it.
would require him to rest something from his board. But there's a funny interaction where you can play Nami and then make Nami a 3 cost with your stage.
Oh, that is brilliant.
That's so you play Nami, you search, you play that event after using stage of course on the Nami. You don't need to rest your existing board, and then you restand the Don that you used with your leader ability. So that's like the best way of using that card right now. But still, it's gonna be difficult trying to fight that 7k leader.
Absolutely. Was that a Gum Gum Giant for that first swing there? The
Yep.
9k from the Luffy Tarot.
Yep.
Gum Giant. So he's still at 4 cards in hand, 2 Frankies.
Okay, so it swings the 9 and restands him. But like even if you block this 9 and block the next 9, it would be pretty safe. He hasn't used his leader yet. So okay. We have 1 blocker left and possibly 2 or 3 swings. He has 2 cards in hand, I think. So we could use leader, get to 6k, swing like 7, 7, 8. Yeah, 7, 7, 8.
I think that might be for the best. Hope that he
Yeah,
doesn't have a 2k in hand.
he doesn't survive this turn, I'm pretty sure. So he has to use his leader ability, even though it like will reduce him to like 4 Don or 3 Don. I think that's his only option. Surviving is probably not an option. Yeah, we
Just had an interesting thought. On the previous turn, a wolf played that 9-cost Luffy. What do you think about if he gave up more Don than he should have to make sure that the 6-cost Luffy didn't get rushed from Laboon here? That could have been a very interesting play.
Mm, that's true. That's true. But I think wasn't the 6 cost on board already. Yeah, I think that was on board already. We played it the turn before the 9 cost Luffy, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if that wasn't the case, he could have, yeah. But what's his option now? He does leader, so he will swing 7, 8. Then if that's not a 2k, he wins. It is not a 2k.
Oh, it's a brick. It's that Zoro. Ooh, Laboon takes game 2 as
Okay.
well.
We barely
That's
got there in the
2-0
end.
win.
We
Well, that
barely
was a
got
very
there,
close
yeah.
game at the end, but managed to eke it out.
But I feel like there was a lot of optimization possible in from Laboon's side. The early, like mid game, especially like the way he used his Don and the swings. Because he almost lost this. No.
He was very close to losing it.
Yeah.
He had to go for game there because I don't think he was living another turn.
Yep.
But I think, yeah, that was definitely very close. Like you said, I think Wolf could have maybe gone down a little lower in life a little earlier, try to get more resources. And Laboon could have,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, could have chipped away at his resources a bit more, swung into beer Luffy's a bit. But you know what? You can't argue with the result. 2-0.
That's
He
true.
still
That is
got the
true.
victory. And ultimately, in this league, that's all that matters.
At the end, the win counts. Yeah, the win counts. That's all that matters. If I win Worlds misplaying, then I win Worlds misplaying. That it is what it is.